in 2014, that's when I was like, well, you know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I can't be in the gym for another 7 years. I don't see a career pathway. I don't want to open a gym and I don't want to be a physio.
Let's talk about who you are first as some form of context and background, because you've been so well known in the fitness industry as
my ads are everywhere, right?
Business guy. But let's see where it all started for you.
So chances are, if you're here, what's going on, Ellie? Chances are, if you're here, you're probably seeing our ads everyone over the last like 2-3 years. We've been helping online fitness coaches. I've been helping online fitness coaches take the systems, the tools, the strategies, the knowledge that I use when I started out my online fitness business back in 2014. We laugh about this one. Well, we go, I left the gym in 2014. That seems to be the ad that crushes it. So if you see that one, that's the ad that I use. But yeah, I started in the fitness industry in 2007, right after high school. Got into physio, started studying physiotherapy. Realized how boring physiotherapy was. I was in the fitness industry for about 7 years here in Melbourne, Australia. I competed, I believe I did a natural bodybuilding show in 2012. I might have to, we've got some pics of that.
We can dig up some
pics.
Sure.
Little natural show when I was 22. And then by about 2014, I was like, fuck this. I have a physio degree. I met this lovely lady over here. Anytime Fitness.
This newbie coming into the gym.
You were a noob, weren't you? So she was a noob. She came into the gym, Anytime Fitness, and I had this hybrid thing going on. So I came up and I started to learn Facebook ads in 2014. I had this hybrid thing coming on where I would coach guys online, and then every Saturday and Sunday morning, I would take them into the gym. I would sneak them into the gym, and then I would run 1 hour workshops with them. And we would do squat, we'd do deadlift. We actually, one time we brought in lollies and we carb cycled together. So we added lollies, sponge cakes, and muffins just as a refeed day. And it was really, really cool. And then I just thought to myself, fuck, I've been in the industry here for about 7 years. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't want to open a gym because I think at that time I was going to open up at Anytime Fitness, and I was going to open up a gym in King Street. And I think I was talking to this one about it. And she was like, look, you don't want to get into a partnership. And at the time we had all these 24-hour gyms pop up. At the end of the day, I didn't want to outlay $450,000, closer to $1 million for a business model that wasn't going to work long term. So anyway, I took the plunge and I thought, shit, this hybrid thing's doing well. I can get leads. I can get them to come into the gym. I see them once a week. What if I take that model and I take it online? I think at the time I was coaching about 70 men hybrid, which meant they received training through Recomposer, this great app from Damon Hayhow and the guys over at Recomp. I was giving them a training app. They had a membership site. They had the PB City membership site.
The OG.
The OG. I was really Aussie back then. My accent has evolved many times over.
Working with too many Americans.
Yeah, we're working with too many Americans and Canadians and Englishmen. But in 2014, that's when I was like, well, you know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I can't be in the gym for another 7 years. I don't see a career pathway. I don't want to open a gym and I don't want to be a physio. So what the fuck do I do? So I took the model online, and I remember for the first 9 months, she moved in with me, and she had a really good, would tell them about your story. Tell them what you're doing.
Right now?
No, before.
Oh, sure.
When you moved in.
She
moved in after about 2 months.
Working in a big corporate giant in telecommunications in Australia. I had a really amazing job. I worked in property as a capital analyst. So I did a lot of the big capital investments for our retail stores and worked at a very steadily 9-to-5 job.
It was a good paying job too, wasn't it?
Yes, and I loved
Really
my 4-week annual leave.
Made me feel really insecure, right? So she's got this amazing job. I'm a personal trainer in the gym. I'm having a meltdown because I've got this physiotherapy degree that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with. I'm like, what am I going to do by the time I'm 30, by the time I'm 35, when I have kids? And then I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go in the internet marketing space and double down on this online space. And I remember the first 9 months of it, it was really fucking hard. Whilst I pretended like I had everything sorted, didn't I? I had everything sorted.
Yeah.
I was like, whilst I pretended like I had everything sorted, Keri quickly found out how little I had sorted. When we first went to Vietnam, we had like a little Vietnam trip. I had an online business at the time. I was taking everybody hybrid, and at the time it was a bit of a disaster because I had nothing in place. I had no systems. I had no marketing. I had no sales. I had these 60 clients that I took hybrid to coach online, and then they were starting to get disgruntled. And I was trying to just put out fires everywhere. And quickly, Keri realized that, holy shit, she'd probably made a big mistake, didn't you, at that time?
No. But let me tell from my perspective, I think what I saw in Vietnam, now that I know what I know, is that you didn't have the systems. You were very, very successfully bringing on 60 guys into an online community, except you were literally 24/7 support all over the world.
And that stems to this coaching right now, that if you are an online coach and you're stepping in the place and you don't have systems and you were like me, you're just going to go, shit, I'm going to try some Facebook ads. I'm going to learn some online marketing. And then you jump inside of the online space and everyone thinks that you have an online business, so you get to work and they think you're the superstar. And I look like the superstar. I was like, yep, I've got an online business. I've got 60 clients, and I was plugged into the business. Like literally my phone was 24/7. I was in Vietnam and I wasn't in Vietnam. Like it was the same place as anywhere else. Hotel, hotel spa, hotel pool, same place as anywhere else. And so I think that's the very first point of call that Keri started to realize that something was up. I just kept fucking hustling because I needed to survive. So I think that's when I started to dive a little bit deeper. I mean, the first 9 months of my online business didn't actually bring in any new clients and customers. It took about 9 months until I learnt how to get clients successfully on a continual basis, not just through Instagram posting. I remember I actually got this one to post on Instagram for me. So we would put up quotes. She would be my social media manager. She would go to Telstra. She'd be working, and fuck, it was hectic at the time, wasn't it? It was hustle bustle. So then fast forward to the end of 2014, I started to make advertising work. I started to learn the game of advertising. I started to learn the game of marketing, which is what we're going to talk about here a lot inside of Secrets of the Online Coach, because it is a key skill. If you can't market, you don't have cash flow. If you don't have cash flow, you can't build systems. If you can't build systems, you can't then delegate and then have freedom, which is the whole reason why we want an online business, right? So it was probably at the end of 2014 where I started to learn Facebook marketing and advertising really well, and I started to learn about funnels and how to convert with your message. And that was the time when, we started to launch challenges. And then at the same time, I got about 120 male clients, really funnily enough, to helping transform their bodies and their life through PB City Platinum. And then I had this thing called PB City Academy, where I coached 100 personal trainers to get in shape, because most personal trainers didn't know how to get in shape. And back in 2015, there was no education. So I said, look, I'll coach you. I'll help you use the system. It wasn't a business coaching program. It wasn't how to, get leads, make sales. It was how to fucking train and eat. And that was really really funny as well. And that was when things started rolling. But man, prior to that, for 9 months, it was just hustle, it was bustle, it was no systems, it was crazy, it was hectic. And even then, when I look back, I go, holy shit, it's a completely different ballgame. And like, Keri, what do you think, like, why did I take this, like, PB City, and when did I start teaching business systems and start to, when was that point? Because I think you saw it happen, that you can talk about it.
So let's fast forward to today. Yeah.
Let's fast forward to today.
Which is, Lynn teaches marketing, he teaches coaching, he teaches systems. And I think at the point of when he mentioned the PB City Academy, and he was teaching the trainers on their training principles and how to get themselves on point with their training nutrition, I remember that every single week you had a business webinar. Do you remember that? I remember that because you always wanted to teach them how to create businesses for themselves and how to actually use their bodies, their skills, to then build a business. But the funny thing was, at the time, those PTs had no care about their business.
Yeah.
They just wanted the body.
Yeah. They weren't in shape, and they didn't understand strength training, progressive overload, and how to track their 1RMs. And it wasn't until, like, the business was really doing well with PB City, we were up to about $27,000 a month without a lot of advertising spend. That was like a $2,000-$3,000 a month on ad spend. What really hit it for me was one of my good buddies, Hayden Wilson. He had his summit in 2016. It was a Melbourne summit, and he wanted me to go up and share my story. And he was like, dude, you've got an online membership site, you're selling coaching, you're making $27,000 a month, you must be doing something right, can you come and speak? And I was like, well, shit, I've never spoken before. And when was this? This was June 2016. And then Keri remembers, and she keeps telling me it was at that moment where, after speaking and sharing my systems, and at the time, you know, when you're going through this journey, you actually don't feel like you have systems. You feel like whatever you have is inferior, because there's this thing of comparison where you feel like everyone else has something bigger than you on Instagram. So I was like, well, shit, I don't have a following on Instagram. I coach 100 people. We make close to $30,000 a month consistently in recurring revenue. I don't have anything that special to share. And he's like, no, come and share and talk about your experience, because, you know, you're an online coach that I know to be doing well, and yada yada. And it was really funny, because after that moment, after sharing the systems on how I use challenges and how I use marketing and how I did my sales calls and how I coached clients, I had a ton of trainers reach out and go, hey, can you help me build that too? And what happened next? I think Alex Tatterson was my very first client. We're speaking about him today, Alex Tatterson. He asked me to coach him, and I said, no, I don't do business coaching. And then he kept asking, and he kept asking. And I said, well, here are all of our systems, so then you can go on and take it. And so I think the birth of this business, because you see a lot of mentors and you see a lot of business coaches, and I actually don't know what the fuck they do, that teach online fitness business. I don't teach online fucking fitness business. I'm not going to teach you how to set up a sales funnel and sell a 12-week course. We don't do that. We sell coaching. And the number one principle to coaching is, how do you get people to move? How do you transform people? And how do you shift their identity so that they get long-term results? We're not talking about results for, 30 days, 12 weeks, but how do you actually transform their fucking life? The movement I built with PB City was, we had so many success stories with guys transforming their body, but they were better. They were better mentally. They were better men that thought differently, that could take the same thought patterns to work, that could take the same thought patterns with their families, and they were just better. And this was the thing that I wanted to share inside of the fitness space. And it was the change that we needed, that I wanted to see in the fitness space, because I didn't want to go on Instagram selling fucking ebooks and, fit tea and putting out naked pictures of myself. And I really just wanted to go, hey, look, this is the message. I want to just upgrade humanity. That was the thing. That was the message that was inside of me. And what I started to realize when I started to talk to more and more fitness professionals was that was the message that they had inside of them as well. They had this thing where they were like disgusted with the fitness industry and how it's turning into pornography and selling affiliate products and you know, marketing, nothing of substance. But I just wanted to fucking bring the best out of people. And I didn't know how. And what I was doing at the time was very manual, it was very tedious, it was very heavy. At the end of the day, it did $30,000 a month. But the reward, the life transformations, the success stories, the relationships that I built along the way were really, really good. So with that said, that's kind of the movement that we build inside of the 1%. It's not about getting rich selling information. We don't sell information. We get rich by helping people transform. We get rich by building communities where we build relationships with our clients and we get to know them and we transform their minds, we transform their bodies, and we get them. You know what we do? We activate people's potential. Would you agree with that?
For sure.
Yeah. And
directly and indirectly.
And the biggest thing, and this is what I start to see inside of the fitness industry, is like the biggest problem that we have right now is that everybody knows what to do to get in shape. And this is secret number one. It's people don't have an information problem. You know, I posted on my Facebook page, profile page the other day, is calorie deficit. I posted something like, will a calorie deficit diet eliminate obesity from our society? And
very strategic question.
It's a very strategic question, because you open up a can of worms with these fitness coaches. What did I ask? I asked fit pros, is a calorie deficit really the cure to Western culture's obesity epidemic? And as you know, with the fitness industry, here's what you're going to do. You're going to eat popcorn and you're going to just watch people just fucking scroll over people. What was really interesting about that is a lot of people said yes. And they said, cool, if calorie deficit is the solution to the world's obesity epidemic, well, what about people who are alcoholics? Telling them not to drink alcohol will, you know, make them better, make them not an alcoholic? What about smokers? Telling them to put a cigarette down and not smoke 1 pack a day? Is that really working? And so when I look at coaching versus information, these are two different things. Information is, yes, a calorie deficit is going to help you lose weight. But the problem with information is people aren't actually doing it. And that's why we have an epidemic, because people aren't implementing what they know. Why do you think that is, Keri? Why do you think that such a simple concept like this, people don't actually execute in? Why?
For calorie deficit?
Yeah, or just anything in life. It's simple. You know what to do. But yeah, most people, 70% of people are overweight, obese inside of Australia, here, America, Western culture. Why?
In my mind, first of all, there are two things that's exacerbating the issue, which is, one, the industry that we are in is actually creating the behaviors of obesity, and it's creating the behaviors of the quick fix to then the rebound, to then metabolic damage, to then long-term failure.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that they don't want the end user, me, you, to succeed.
Possibly. That's a very good hypothesis, that the fitness industry doesn't actually want people to succeed, because if they did succeed, what would they sell? There's this thing where we talk a lot about inside of the 1%. If you're going to become a successful coach, you have to be able to train and understand how to get somebody to do the consistent, simple action every single day. Because it doesn't matter what you teach them. You and I both know a calorie deficit is going to help somebody lose weight. Yeah, good. But how do you get them to enjoy that? How do you get them to do it? How do you get them and coach them to apply these principles so that they actually take the action, and from the action they get the result. And
what we want is the result of the result, because essentially you could take someone on a 12-week transformation, again, get them the result of the weight loss. But the reality is the result of what they get with you is so much more with implementing consistency, discipline, actual principle-based lifestyles that they don't get from a 12-week calorie deficit program.
Yeah. And this is crazy, because the epiphany of what's changed over the last couple of years, it's like we see things inside of the fitness industry, and here is one message that I think me and Keri are living by right now that we can share. The fitness industry tends to take things away from people. And so if you want to get a result, you need to eat less. You can't eat carbs, you can't eat fats, you can't eat proteins, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. We can take this away, we'll take your calories away. And that in itself is not sustainable long term. So you can argue for and against this, and this is my personal opinion as to why we have the obesity epidemic happening. It's because we're not building good practices to help people build their metabolism, build their strength, build their capacity to do more. Instead, we're saying, wait a second, couch potato, you can get lean. Here's the hooks that we see around the fitness space. How do you get lean, shredded, get six-pack ab in 30 days without doing any cardio and working out less than one time a week? That's the hooks that we begin to see. And so we encourage this behavior of taking away things. Yet if you really think about it as a coach, if you're going to coach somebody for 12 weeks and they get the result, why are they going to stay with you? And if they don't stay with you, what happens, Keri? They stop. They fucking stop. And they go from this result that they achieved in 12 weeks only to drift back to where they once were. And we have this cycle of people getting results, losing results, going backwards, getting results, losing results, going backwards, getting results, losing. And what you're starting to see is it's like an ocean current that just pushes you further and further and further away. It's got to drift. And what's truly wrong inside of the fitness space and the fitness industry right now is this. There are a couple of things wrong. But the first thing is that nobody's teaching how to build foundations around your nutrition and build upon that. How do you begin to eat more? How do you go from 2,000 calories to 2,500? Well, you want to eat more fundamentally. How do you train more so that you can do more, so that you can increase your capacity? How do you grow more? How do you exercise more? How can you do more and actually enjoy the process along the way? And this switch is a big, big thing. This is something that I teach inside the 1%. No, you're not going to activate shit. There's no potential activating if you have this lazy mindset and try to hack shit. And so we see this pattern across the board in humanity, just not fitness professionals, but we see this in business. And chances are you're here to learn how to grow your business, but you're still looking for the result without putting in the work. You're still looking to achieve the result without putting in the work to mastering and build upon that result. This is why most fitness coaches fail. And we'll talk about the high ticket bullshit and the marketing bullshit and my grope against business gurus and how they can teach you how to market and sell, but they don't know how to teach you how to deliver or coach. And at the core of it, most fitness coaches fail. Most online fitness coaches, 99.999% fail because they don't know how to deliver. Not because they don't know how to market or sell. It's not because they don't know ads. It's not because they don't know fucking funnels. It's because they don't actually know how to coach somebody and activate them. And as a result of being unable to having that inability to activate somebody, clients drop off after 12 weeks only to regress and into the cycle of the fitness space again. So what shall we tap into today? So that's a little bit of a background behind what we do and why we do what it is that we do. I'm sure inside of this group, you're going to see a ton of stuff that's going to pop up, and feel free to ask any questions. Now, if there's one thing inside of this group that you want to see, it's you're here because you want to help people grow, and you want to grow yourself, and you want to activate your own fucking potential first. And there's another reason why most fitness coaches fail, is because they don't lead what they teach their clients. And that's another whole topic of discussion. But I want to start with this, that, and I'll leave you with this, and Keri will leave you with this, that have a look at your product that you're trying to build online right now. Is it helping build somebody, or is it taking away from them? And you might think, well, Lynn, like, I know how to give somebody a diet and get them to do cardio and then they'll lose weight. We all do. Your mum does. Your grandma does. The internet does. That's not actually help. But that's the easy path. The question is, how do you help this person shift their mindset to go, you know what, my potential is here and I'm just currently here? Because every single person has unlimited potential, and yet very few people tap into it, which is why we have these issues. So I think that's a good question to start with. Do you want to ask them a question? Maybe a question for them to consider or ponder.
For sure. My question? Why are you here?
I love that question. That was the question I did at the event. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why do you want to grow an online business?
What if we told you it's hard work?
What if I told you it was fucking hard work?
That it's not easy?
What if I told you that there is no automated online business where there's a push of the button and you make sales in your sleep? What if I told you it took an enormous amount of responsibility and leadership? Would you still want to do it? What if I told you there were easier ways to make money? What if I told you that there were easier ways to make money than being a fucking online coach? And being an online coach meant that you had responsibility and you got to grow and you got to contribute, which is fulfillment. So it's really funny because a lot of people grow an online fitness business to make money, and they don't make money because their aim is to make money. And the ironic thing is that the coaches that win are the coaches that believe in their message because they've got something amazing to share. But anyway, we're going to wrap this one up. I think that's a nice little intro. But we're going to come back. We're going to come back with topics. So we're going to see what's happening inside of this group, what's happening inside of this community. Hopefully we can answer a few questions, open up, this high ticket discussion, talk about marketing, talk about sales, talk about delivery. But there's a lot of coaches here, and this group's going to grow. I expect it to go in, the thousands and then the tens of thousands in the next coming month as we push our message out there. But why are you here? And if I told you that it was going to take fucking hard work like Keri did, would you still commit to it? If there were easier ways to make money, like launching a fucking digital marketing agency and go and sign up with Ty Lopez, would you still do this? That is all from you. That is all from me, actually, and that is all from Keri. We'll see you soon. We'll see you again soon. And thanks for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.